Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over 5 easy Shadowlands mounts that you can farm up right now. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we're going to be going over 5 easy mounts that we can farm up in Shadowlands, and it won't take you all that much time in order to do, and they're pretty much guaranteed to actually get a hold of. I've comprised the list of 5 of them, of course, because I like my 5 list videos. So therefore, let's get into our first one at number 1, which is the ARBOREAL GULPER. Now this one was commonly talked about at the beginning of Shadowlands, and at no surprise, this is by far one of the easier mounts to actually get a hold of, as this is a 100% drop chance. However, you will need an item in order to spawn the rare for this. What you'll need to do is you'll need to get hold of an unusually large mushroom, and this is by farming up any of the mobs in the actual zone. However, I prefer to go to this area on the map right now, and what I typically like to do is just gather them up and burn all of those mobs down. They have a chance of dropping the unusually large mushroom, and in this specific area as well is where you'll need to go in order to spawn the unusually large mushroom. I've left the coordinates on the screen right now for those who actually want to go towards that area in order to spawn the rare, but once you've actually got the unusually large mushroom, you'll have 20 minutes in order to spawn the rare to actually kill him to get the mount. This isn't that hard. This is a pretty easy farm in order to do to get a hold of this mount, and at no surprise, this is why you'll probably see a lot of ARBOREAL Gulpers just dotted around Oribos and just out in the open world at the moment, because it's just that easy to get a hold of. 100% drop chance from just a rare, and it's pretty much a soloable rare, so to speak. Therefore, we're going to get into our next one at number 2, which is the SILVERWIND LARION. Now, this one I actually posted about on our community posts, and by far this is the hardest of all of the easy mounts to get a hold of, because this will take you a lot of time. However, this did take me around about 2 hours 15 minutes, because I actually put myself on a timer to actually find out how to do this, and at no surprise did I need my Demon Hunter in order to complete this, because you had to get to some very obscure places, so using my Demon Hunter was definitely necessary. However, you could do this with Goblin Gliders for some of the shards that you'll be collecting. You'll need to collect 50 of them. Now, a large majority of them will be from the open world within Bastion. This is pretty easy in order to do, and by far it's just following the actual TomTom waypoints. However, I have actually posted a link to the actual comments post of all of the different spots where those shards are. So if you wanted to actually do this, then all you'll need is the paste add-on and TomTom to actually do this. You basically just copy and paste all of those spawn points in there and just gather up all of those shards. You do not have to do it numerically, but it is a lot easier if you do it numerically. However, you do have a few that are from dungeons, and these are pretty easy to actually do. I just had to run myself as a tank spec and just pick them up as and when I came across them in the Necrotic Wake and the Spires of Ascension. This was very easy in order to do, as they were just hidden slightly in different areas, and overall there are locations to that. But alas, once you actually hit 50 shards, you'll get an achievement saying that you have gotten a hold of all 50 of those shards, and all you will have to do is then just go over to a NPC within Bastion and then just give that in to get hold of a mallet, which will ring a bell and it will give you your SILVERWIND LARION. This takes you more time than anything and is not really overly that difficult, especially if you're using a Demon Hunter. It's just the time factor, but it is 100% if you actually stick to it. Aside from all of that, let's just jump into our next one at number 3, and that is the Spinemaw Glade Chewer. Now this one is located in 28.6 to 55.2 in Ardenweald, and all you'll have to do is just burn down all of the mobs. Henceforth, I did use my Demon Hunter for this in tank spec because a lot of these are elite mobs and they hit considerably a lot harder. So I preferred to do this on my Demon Hunter just to make my life easy. But other than that, you'll just be burning down all of those mobs until a rare mob actually spawns. Once he actually spawns, he has a 100% drop chance on the Splinemaw Glade Chewer, so you shouldn't worry about that. All you have to do is just tank and spank that mob down in order to get a hold of the Glade Chewer mount. This is by far one of the easier ones, but it's a bit time expensive because this will probably take you around about an hour's worth of farming. But other than that, you do have a chance of picking up some nice open world materials and also BOEs that actually do come alongside that, so you're not coming away with nothing, as well as the mount. That being said, let's get on to the easiest one to actually get a hold of, and the one I got hold of in literally around about 10 minutes, which is at number 4, and that is the Wild Seed Cradle. Now this one was talked about relatively early on within Shadowlands, as all you have to do is finding the gardener parts which are dotted around the area. You can find the macro in the Discord or in the description. That all you have to do is just use that for TomTom, and that will show you all of the spawn locations for all of those different items. Once you've gotten a hold of all 5 items, all you have to do is click them to combine them into the gardener's kit and take it over to Twinkle Star, which once you actually give him his tools back, he will give you a cachet behind him which will award you with the Wild Seed Cradle. This is by far one of the easier mounts to actually farm up, and other than that, it took me around about 10 minutes in order to do, so I even put myself on a timer for that one as well. So you shouldn't have that much of a problem going forward. Coming in at last on our list, and at no surprise, is the SHIMMERMIST Runner. Now, the SHIMMERMIST Runner will require you to have TomTom once again, but this is to go in a certain area. What you'll be wanting to do is go to the far left hand side of ARBOREAL, and you'll have to navigate the maze correctly. This is why the macro's in the description right now, and you have to follow this one numerically, because you need to actually follow the maze in a certain specific way in order to actually spawn the rare mob in which you have to kill to get hold of the SHIMMERMIST Runner. What you'll be wanting to do is follow that maze correctly through that, so you will have to follow the TomTom waypoints, and you'll be fighting a rare mob which is called Shizgar. And basically, once you've actually defeated him, which is actually kind of a difficult fight if you're not prepared, please don't use AoE, because I ended up using AoE on my first attempt and I ended up pulling all of the other neutral mobs around me, which are elites as well, and I totally got my butt kicked. But aside from all of that, if you are careful, you will be able to take out that mob solo. He just does hit a little bit hard, so maybe have some self-healing to go with that, hence why I used my Vengeance Demon Hunter. And that being said, once you've actually killed him, you'll be able to go over to that SHIMMERMIST Runner, click on it, and you'll be awarded that mount. This is by far a really cool looking mount, and overall it's definitely worth the time invested to actually get a hold of this mount. Other than that, guys, that is pretty much my list for the 5 easy Shadowlands mounts that you can get a hold of today. By far my most favourite one is the one that took me the most time, and that's the SILVERWIND LARION. It's absolutely cool as hell, and I would love to see different variations, colours and all that stuff, so I'm going to work towards getting the other ones of that style. So that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.
If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.